Trust nobody. Trust no one. Trust nobody. Dana White pulls the rug from underneath Eddie Hearn's. We just found out Conor Benn, UK boxer, who has been with Eddie Hearn pretty much since the beginning, a decade, 10 years. That is all over for the foreseeable future. And Conor Benn has a brand new home. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Did you miss me? Boom. Signed. Zuffa Boxing. They just put this out ahead of the Ryan Garcia fight, right? And Conor Benn has officially signed to TKO Dana White's Zuffa Boxing. Read it and weep. Wow. Now, I'm not going to front. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this coming at all. When I watch boxing and it's a UK broadcast, right? The UK British commentators are so insanely biased, it's unbelievable. Like, I can't even watch UK shows for that reason. And if I do, I got to put the sound on very low because it's one thing to support your people and, want and root for your guys to win. I get that. That's cool. No big issue. But when you're lying and your commentary is not matching what I'm watching, that becomes a whole different ball game. And I'm bringing that up because I've always seen a lot of UK British pundit. Oh yeah, mate. 1 more week, mate. They all kind of have this like sense of unity and don't go against the pack type of mentality, except for, I will say, Carl Froch. Carl Froch is like the only real one where if Tyson Fury looked bad versus Usyk, Carl Froch are going to talk about it. If Amir Khan don't have no chin, Carl Froch will bluntly say it like Boxingego would say it. So I respect the Cobra, Carl Froch. You see him calling out John Fury right now because of Fury's antics or whatever. So I can respect that. So for a lot of these people in the UK, I really felt like they don't go against other UK people. Like if you ask UK in the prime, not really now, but in the prime and the height of the fight, you ask UK British boxers, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. I feel like a lot of them, even if they felt Wilder would win, it would be unpopular to say. Therefore, they would like tuck their tail and wouldn't say it. So I really didn't expect this move from Conor Benn because I thought that he had a good relationship with Eddie Hearn. And boxing, there's no friends. There's no friends in this business. Eddie Hearn is actively kind of like going back and forth with Dana White, and you came in the game with Eddie Hearn. I believe your father was with his father, so Nigel Benn was with Eddie Hearn, daddy, Barry Hearn, and worked together. And then now you go sign with the ops, Eddie Hearn's ops. Now, you guys can feel what you want about it. Business is business and money talks or whatever. I'm very curious to read a lot of y'all comments. I'm very curious for that because I just want to see what people's belief are. Do you believe like, hey, you got to take care of your family and do what you got to do? Or should there be some like type of loyalty there, right? Now, this is very interesting. You see right here, it says Riyadh season. Let me repeat, Riyadh season. So this whole like press kit junket or whatever, showing that Conor Benn has now signed with Dana White and Zuffa, clearly being promoted by Riyadh Season, right? And I know some of you guys are thinking, hey, but Ego, what does Riyadh Season have to do with this? Think, seek, and you shall find. Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren were probably the main two guys that Turkey, Al-Sheikh, and the Saudis were really heavily invested in and working with on a routine basis when Turkey first made his presence known and started working. They were doing a bunch of DAZN shows, right? So peep this. That's why I said trust no one. Trust nobody. In the words of Jay-Z, same sword they knight you with, they gon' good night you with. That's only half if they like you. Hold on, let me say it again. Same sword they knight you with, they gon' good night you with. That's a bar. Shout out to Hove. It's your boy. It's perfect. Same sword they knight you with, they gon' good night you with. That's only half if they like you. Don't believe me, ask Michael. See Caesar, see Brutus, see Jesus, see Judas, see success. Like, right? The same sword they knight you with, they gon' good night you with. Turkey came in the game with Eddie Hearn, right? He came in the game with Eddie Hearn for the most part because that you needed a promoter. You used the Eddie Hearns and the Frank Warrens and built up your profile to the point where, maybe boxing knew you. You got the free flow, your Saudi money into boxing, working with these promoters and putting on these fights. And then a little bit later, after that mission was complete, you announced TKO, which is owned by the same people, Sella and Saudis, basically, and they own the UFC and the WWE, that Dana White's getting into boxing. So right then and there, you work with other promoters, primarily UK promoters, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, to build up your profile. And then you leapfrog to Dana White because you got the TKO thing. And then now it looks like you're pulling back your bread on them other promoters, trying to monopolize, Also, you're creating your own belt, like they have a Zuffa Boxing belt now, right? And you're trying to distance yourself from the sanctioning bodies and be done with them. And now people who work with Eddie Hearn are magically popping up on Zuffa. Conor Benn, Jai Opataya. There's inklings and rumors that Usyk could go over there. So Dana White, he making moves. He making moves. He treating it like a business, and it is what it is. But I want to know from you, yes, you at home. I want to know, do you believe in loyalty in this industry, or you don't care if you came in the game with somebody and you got a better deal? Because this deal for Conor Benn, they're saying it's 8 figures. So it means he's getting $10 million to $99 million somewhere in there. And it's a one-off, one-fight deal. So, can you be mad at Conor Benn for taking the money and kind of backdooring Eddie Hearn for real? Because it's like this is what 50 Cent was beefing with Jadakiss and Fat Joe for, because they hopped on when at the height of 50. Hey, something special, man. Right? At the height of the 50 and the Ja Rule beef, they try to resurrect by coming out with a hit song with Ja Rule, New York, New York, a New York anthem. And 50 didn't like that. Because he was like, man, I'd have put the man away, and then y'all helping him come out with a radio hit that people are liking. So 50, in true, competitive spirit, he started going at Jadakiss and Fat Joe. They have since mended that and they're cool now, but I'm talking about a moment in history, a moment in hip hop. You dig? So I don't know. This is kind of like what 50 Cent was mad at. If I'm beefing with the game now, I'm beefing with Ja Rule, and if Lloyd Banks do a double album with The Game, it don't matter how dope the album is and all that. If he do an album, I'm sure 50 Cent he not gonna rock with that. You know what I mean? He gonna be like, huh? This is the guy I'm trying to get rid of, and you out here helping him be relevant. So I'm very curious how this escalates the beef. As of me recording the video, I have not heard from Eddie Hearn in a response to a fighter of 10 years now leaving you, and not only leaving you and joining like PBC or Bob Arum, but the guy you're actively beefing. And I'm fair. This ain't my beef. I just did a video about how Eddie Hearn torched Zuffa Boxing, right? Based on the interview he did. But the difference is Eddie Hearn did it with words. He was like, oh, Dana says I'm my daddy's company and blah, blah, blah. Turkey's your boss. Turkey's your pappy, right? And Eddie Hearn was drilling him for that. And at the time, I made my video and I'm like, oh, Eddie Hearn he was cooking. He was bringing some funny things up. He was kind of winning the moment or whatever and making Dana White look bad. But then days later, Dana White repays the favor, but he does it really in a more strategic way, because while you're chatting and blabbing and talking about me, I'm signing your fighter. You just did this and what's crazy, see, I keep it real. What's crazy about this is Conor Benn popped dirty, and this what tells you that boxing is the Wild Wild West. The man was eating eggs Benedict, all types of scrambled eggs, and eggs over medium and eggs over easy, right? And he was eating them eggs or whatever, popped dirty, and Conor Benn, the media and the fans was ripping him for it. Like, hey, you a cheat, you a drug fail, blah, blah, blah. Eddie Hearn, after years of condemning people for popping dirty, he kind of backed Conor Benn, right? Like, oh, yeah, the facts aren't out. And he was backing. So, again, you worked with Eddie Hearn for 10 years, popped dirty, went through all the backlash, and Eddie Hearn was right there, like, rocking and kind of supporting you. And then all that to go work with Eddie Hearn ops in the heat of this promoter versus promoter battle. Cold game. I try to tell you, cold game. So who do you blame? Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? It is what it is. Money talks. Dana White. But like I said, credit to Dana White and Zuffa, because while you're bumping gums talking about Turkey, my daddy, we taking your fighters. We taking Ja Opataya. We taking Conor Benn. I don't even know who else. I don't know everybody on Zuffa at the moment, but that's a big name. You just had the Chris Eubank Jr. fight and built it up like, oh, it was two wonderful fights, and then now he just jacks you. So Dana White out here on his Ice Cube jacking for beats. Holla at me. For more boxing news, subscribe. Let me know your opinion on the move. Is it snaky? Is it all fair? Is it business? Let me know. Holla.